Let's be real. No one likes being tethered to a specific spot on a stage with an instrument cable, but many of us still feel a little iffy about going wireless. If you're going to get a wireless system, you have to make sure that you can trust it. Enter the Sennheiser EWD wireless guitar system. Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily and you look really good and healthy today. Have you been getting more sleep? I'm jealous. First things first, Sennheiser sent me this wireless system, specifically the EWD CI1 wireless guitar system, and they are paying me a demo fee. To go off script for a second, I'm not the world's most technical person when it comes to wireless units. I've been using wireless in-ear monitors for a few years now, and I can generally get that thing set up, but a lot of the kind of technical stuff just isn't my domain. So I'm trying to approach this as someone who's a relative beginner. We're gonna see if this is easy to work with, easy to use, etc. But back to that demo fee. Fees like this help keep the channel running, but views and opinions are all mine. All right, let's get back into it. You might be more familiar with Sennheiser's other wireless products, such as microphones and in-ear monitors, as I just mentioned. The EWD CI1 wireless guitar system is, as the name implies, for guitarists. This wireless system plays well with the rest of Sennheiser's wireless transmitters and receivers, and it's rack-mountable, which is a must if you have a live band that relies on multiple sets of in-ear monitors and other wireless units like microphones or other instrument wireless units. I'll list off some specs later in the video, but let's go ahead and unbox this baby. But before I get too far along, this is $100 off right now. So if you're watching in mid-March 2024, check the affiliate link in the description for more info. And when that sale ends, I'll try to remember to clip this part from the video. So I apologize in advance if I didn't do that. All right, let's unbox it. We'll open this guy. Oh, and there we have some stuff. This is cute. So I'll just get it in there, but it's wrapped like a present. I really love that. This is the receiver. Oh man, I'm just gonna have some fun here. My cat will enjoy that later. So there it is. Let's just It's always so satisfying. So here is the receiver. This is the front of it, and this is the back. So we have the XLR balanced out. We have an AF out, balanced, unbalanced. We'll talk about that in a bit. 2 spots for antennas. So let's find those maybe. So this is for the rack mounting, there. Set that to the side, and oops, there are our antennas. Setting this up should be pretty easy. Just kind of find it, turn it. It's like I've done this before. Lock it in. Oh, turn it. Make sure it's nice and tight. Great. We're all antennaed up. Oh, there's some little rubber feet for it too, which is nice if it's not rack mountable. There's a little specific spot for each one if you're not rack mounting it, like if you're putting this on top of an amplifier or something like that. All right. Here is the body pack and the cable. Ooh, let's get the paper off of here. And 2 AA batteries are included. I love that this is not like a USB rechargeable thing, but they do sell USB batteries that last a little bit longer. These are supposed to last 8 hours if I remember correctly. So the batteries are just going to go in the back there. I'm going to need a knife to open this. And there's a little power button right there as well. On the top, we have, that's where this goes in. So this should essentially lock in. There's a little threaded screw there. Nice and easy. A mute button, which is really great if you are tuning or something like that, and a sync button. Really not a lot going on in there, which I think is great. And let's see, we have some operations cards. There's some stuff underneath there. So it comes with batteries, it comes with everything that you need, the rack mount hardware as well if you are rack mounting this. And no more plastic. Says, we want to take a step to make an eco-friendly future. That's why we replace plastic by sustainable materials for this packaging. And it really is. Almost everything in this packaging is recyclable, which is really important to me. I'm really getting tired of like the itsy bitsy plastic everywhere from an environmental standpoint, and also there's not a lot you can do with it. I think that the only plastic was the plastic film covering the front of the receiver and the batteries that wrapped the batteries. So yeah, go Sennheiser, that ruled. So let's go ahead and get these batteries in there. 2 AA's should last 8 hours. I think I already said that. The lithium-ion rechargeable battery pack supposedly lasts, I believe, 12. I wrote that down somewhere, so I'll give you the correct information. All right, that feels pretty sturdy. The one thing I'll say about like other wireless transmitters that I've seen that are designed for guitar is I really wish they would include a right angle cable. It's not as big a deal as if it was like an actual instrument cable, but I have a lot of instruments that have the input jack on the front, and it would just, it looks a little bit nicer when it's a right angle. So I don't know if that's an attachment I can buy or if that's something that's available aftermarket, but that's like one thing that I would say is I really wish it shipped with multiple cables. All right, let's see if we can get this set up. It's supposed to be really easy to scan frequencies and everything, but first I'm going to download the Sennheiser Smart Assist app, so I'm going to grab my phone and I'm going to be right back. So I have my Smart Assist app open, and we're going to try to sync a new product. All right, so I'm turning this device on. That's the receiver. Hit sync for 3 seconds. And that will do it. It showed up on the screen. Let's add it to my Bluetooth devices. And now I'm gonna go ahead and change, ooh, I can change the color. Okay. Nice, nice. Next, ready to start. Turn on my transmitter to begin the auto scan. Oh, turn off my transmitter to begin the auto scan. Okay, my bad. Transmitter is off, and we're gonna hit start. Ready to scan. Oh, I need to hit scan. All right, so let's see how fast this is. Okay, each channel is automatically being set to the optimal frequency. I like being able to do this on the app. All right, so it found a frequency. It's really nice because sometimes you have to do it either on the receiver or on the transmitter. I really often have struggled getting that to work, so sometimes I'll have to download an app that scans nearby frequencies. So let's go ahead and hit the plus sign, turn on the transmitter, and it has does have a little light indicator. You can see that there, and hit sync. It doesn't say to hold the sync button. Oh, that was fast, okay. And nice. Can I change the name? Oh, I can. MGTR. Nice. No special characters. Cool. Audio link controls. I can key lock the receiver. That's really nice. Mute lock transmitter so I don't accidentally mute myself. Set gain and set the AF out level. That's the one, that's the 1/4 inch jack that can go to an amplifier or an interface, so that's cool. Frequencies, you can set it manually, you can auto scan, you can sync the transmitter. What else? Yeah, there are those updates. I'm not going to do that right now. All right, cool, it's all set up. Let's look at the back once again, though we have already done that. I'm going out the AF out that has balanced and unbalanced. That's going directly into my audio interface. There's also a balanced XLR out to send directly to a board. So you can use this without a TI box. I see myself using this live with an acoustic guitar and no effects, which will clean up the front of the stage quite a bit. This would also work really well if you use rack mount effects with a foot controller system out front. I've seen plenty of people do that. I'm a big pedal board person, but I always find that pretty slick. I'm not sure this would be ideal with a pedal board, but you could ostensibly run a cable out of the 1/4 inch into a pedal board, into an amp. That way you could still be moving around wirelessly, unencumbered, but use your pedal board. I believe Sennheiser also makes a device for using a wireless system with your pedal board. It has a tuner and all that. I'll link to that in the video description as well. But again, I primarily plan on using this with acoustic guitar live. All right, as I mentioned, it is already routed to my audio interface, and it's working. Let me tune up real quick. Sick, that worked. And it sounds the same as using a wired instrument cable to my ears. And as for things like latency, it's not any different than using my wired connection. It's just a standard instrument cable running all the way to my interface and my DAW. And of course, I can mute on the body pack, which is really, really slick. So there are some colors on that body pack over the mute button. So green, we're live. Yellow, we are not. And within the app, you can lock that mute button so you don't accidentally hit it. I don't plan on doing that because I'm gonna be using a headstock tuner with my acoustic guitar live, and I just would rather that not be audible because I think that's the 8th deadly sin. All right, let's talk tech specs. Here's what Sennheiser thinks you ought to know about this product. It uses the UHF spectrum, that's ultra high frequency, which they say enhances range, reliability, and scalability. It auto scans to find the best frequency for operation, as you saw. Otherwise, like I already said, you have to download a separate app and set that manually, which you can still do, it's just not as ideal. Speaking of which, there are 2,240 selectable frequencies, so that's a lot of space for you to explore. It has 134 decibels of audio input dynamic range, which is a lot. That's probably more than you'll ever need, and it should prevent any need to make sensitivity adjustments. And as I already said, the battery pack can be used up to 8 hours with 2 AA batteries. That'll get you through, like, depending on the length of your set, that can get you through 8 shows. You can also get 12 hours with the lithium-ion battery pack. That's sold separately, but it seems like a good investment. You've maybe heard me complain about rechargeable wireless units before, but I'm all about rechargeable batteries, especially if they last longer. Once again, if you're watching this in mid-March 2024, this is $100 off right now. And if you're interested in picking this up, please check for the affiliate link to Sweetwater in my video description. So, what's next? Is this the end of the video? No, it's not. I'm going to take this to a show on Friday and use it for the few songs on which I play acoustic guitar. Afterwards, I'll report back and let you know how it all went. Did the sound person have an easy time with it, or did it take too long to set up? Did it scan frequencies well, or was I picking up a lot of interference? Did the body pack connect to the receiver and go off without a hitch, or did I disconnect and have to plug into a DI anyway? All right, I had my show last night and everything went great. The Sennheiser EWD CI1 performed really, really well. There was just one small hiccup when I was setting up, but I think it was my phone's Bluetooth. I had to remove the EWD from my Bluetooth and then repair it. Honestly, wasn't a huge deal, and I'm kind of used to needing to constantly remove and re-add Bluetooth devices from my phone. I just think there's something wrong with my phone, to be completely honest. There was another adjustment I had to make for the sound person, which I don't even want to call a hiccup. It's just sometimes you need to adjust settings. And basically I had to up the gain coming from the transmitter to the receiver just a little bit. My signal was a tad too quiet going into the board, so the sound person asked me if I could turn it up on my end, so she didn't have to like juice the gain on the board. So let me show you how to make that adjustment. You can do that in the app, and that is what I did last night, but I'm gonna show you how to do it right here on the receiver because I didn't really show you any of those settings before, and I think it's important. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to hit the set button right here. The first item in the menu is gain, so that's helpful, but if gain wasn't what we were looking for, we would navigate using these arrows. But when what we want to adjust is flashing, as you can see, gain is flashing right there. We're gonna hit set again. Now we can adjust the gain by going up and down on these arrows. I didn't really have it set up 42 decibels. This is the second time I was filming this, but you can increase up to 42 decibels coming out from the transmitter. I think the default was at 12, so I did turn it up a little bit, but nothing too much. It was a really easy thing to do. Other things we can adjust includes the AF out volume, so that's the second thing in this list. The AF volume is the volume coming out of the 1/4 inch on the back here. Earlier, that's how I was running it into my interface. The manual in the app itself has some potential unity gain settings, by the way, which is super helpful if you're running this into a guitar amp. So that way it's not any louder than it would be if you were using a traditional instrument cable. Next is the mute lock, which is a simple on or off kind of thing. So after mute lock, we have auto scan. Auto scan will scan for the ideal frequencies in your area, the ideal free frequencies, I should say. I was going to do this if I couldn't get the app to work, but again, everything ended up working fine. But something I didn't think about on the app that is pretty easy to do on the face is display and lock into other free frequencies and not just the first one that they show you. So you'll run a scan, go down to set, auto scan, hit set again. It starts the scan, and it will pop up a frequency band, and this will be flashing. You can push set to lock into that, or you can navigate up and down to find other free frequencies. Remember, if you change frequencies, you also need to resync the transmitter, which is as easy as just pushing the sync button on it. And it's yellow right now, which tells me that it's either muted or not synced, it was muted. So let's hit the sync there. Oh, let me go ahead and set into that frequency. And let's hit sync on our devices. Oh, there it is. So one thing I want to point out while I'm looking at it is you'll notice, hopefully you'll see, I can see it pretty clearly on the monitor, so I'm confident you'll see it in post. But you can see the battery level on the transmitter right on the face there. I guess I had forgotten to turn this transmitter off after I filmed my demo because I was just testing this out at the house before leaving for my show, and I realized my battery was almost completely dead. So I saw that, I was able to grab another battery, and no harm, no foul. I was really glad that I tested that at home and didn't have to dig around for some batteries at the venue. Always keep extra batteries in your emergency bag for your gigs. So the next two items on that list, we have channel, which is for queuing up preset radio frequency channels, and tune, which is for manually setting frequencies. So if you have an app or something that you prefer to use for checking free frequencies, you can set your frequency that way. But always triple check to make sure that the frequency is actually free, and always remember to resync your transmitter afterwards. But yeah, there isn't much of a story to tell you about using this last night. Frankly, it just worked. I learned a few things and had just a little bit of troubleshooting, but it really went smoothly, and it was great being unwired. The stage last night was super crowded, so it was great to free up even a little bit of extra floor space. The sound person had an easy time with it, just plugging an XLR in the back of the unit like it was a microphone. So honestly, not needing a DI box meant one less thing for her to set up, which I'm sure she appreciated. Again, there was a lot of stuff on that stage. Thanks again to Sennheiser for sending me the EWD CI1 set to demo and review. It's honestly so much easier to set up than other rack wireless units I've used, and it really makes me want to transition to using all Sennheiser wireless stuff in the future. I mean, if their wireless IEM units are as easy as this or even half as easy as this, I'm sold. Once again, if you're interested in picking up this wireless unit and it's still March of 2024, it may still be on sale for $100 off. Please check out the affiliate link in the video description, which will take you to the Sweetwater product page for the Sennheiser EWD CI1. Buying anything on Sweetwater using that link is a great way to support this channel doing things that, let's be honest with ourselves and each other, you're probably going to do anyway. And please consider checking out one of the videos on the screen. If you like this one, you might like one of those, and YouTube loves it when you click on those videos. Finally, please like, comment, subscribe, and keep doing what you're doing because it looks like it's working. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. Until next time, my name is Emily. Goodbye.